If you're on Social Security or you help a parent or grandparent manage their benefits, there's something you need to understand about phone calls. A phone call by itself cannot take away anyone's Social Security benefits. But what happens during that call or after it sometimes can. Seniors don't usually lose money because someone dialed their number. They run into trouble because of what came next, sharing information with someone who wasn't who they claimed to be, misunderstanding what a caller was asking them to do, missing a step they didn't realize was required, or making a decision about their benefits without fully understanding what it would mean for their monthly check. That's really what we mean when we talk about a phone trap. It isn't an official Social Security program or a secret policy. It's a pattern of everyday mistakes and scams that catch people off guard, and once you understand how it works, it becomes much easier to avoid. Let's start with how Social Security actually communicates with people, because that's the foundation for everything else. The agency does sometimes call beneficiaries, but it relies primarily on mail for official business, and it has an online portal called a personal My Social Security account, where people can check their benefit status, update certain information, and view official notices. If you ever get a call that seems to relate to your benefits, the safest habit is to treat the call itself as unverified information, no matter how official it sounds, and confirm anything important through a source you looked up yourself rather than a number or link the caller gave you. That single habit, verifying independently, is probably the most powerful protection any senior can build. So what does a scam call typically sound like? Scammers who impersonate Social Security employees tend to rely on a handful of pressure tactics because those tactics work. They create urgency, telling you that you must act right now or lose your benefits. They threaten consequences like suspension of your Social Security number or even arrest, which is not how the real agency operates. They ask for payment in unusual forms, such as gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, which no legitimate government agency requests for this purpose. And they ask for sensitive details like your full Social Security number, bank account information, or online account password, often framing it as necessary to verify your identity or protect your benefits. Real verification does not work that way. If a caller is pressuring you to prove who you are by handing over the very information a scammer would want, that's a warning sign, not a normal procedure. Consider a hypothetical example. Imagine a woman named Grace, 74 years old, who receives a call from someone claiming to be a Social Security investigator. The caller tells her that her Social Security number has been linked to suspicious activity and that her benefits will be suspended within 24 hours unless she confirms her identity. He asks her to read her Social Security number and date of birth aloud, and then asks her to purchase gift cards to secure her account while the issue is investigated. This is a fictional scenario, but it reflects tactics regulators and consumer protection agencies have described in real scam reports. Nothing about this request lines up with how Social Security actually handles account issues. The agency does not resolve account problems through gift cards, and it does not threaten immediate suspension over the phone. Now picture a different kind of situation, one that isn't a scam at all, but still causes real problems. Imagine a man named Walter, who receives an official letter from Social Security asking him to submit updated documentation to continue receiving a certain benefit. He sets the letter aside, intending to deal with it later, and simply forgets. Because he never responds, his benefit is affected, not because someone tricked him, but because a genuine deadline passed unnoticed. This is exactly the kind of everyday mistake that matters just as much as outright fraud. Reading notices promptly, understanding what they're asking for, and responding on time is just as important as watching out for scammers. There's a third category worth understanding too, which involves decisions rather than mistakes. Choosing when to start collecting retirement benefits can affect the size of a person's monthly payment for the rest of their life. And the right choice depends heavily on individual circumstances, including health, other income, and family situation. There is no single answer that fits everyone, and no legitimate source, whether it's a caller, a video, or even a well-meaning family member, should tell you there's only one correct age to claim. If someone on the phone urges you to make a fast decision about your benefits, that pressure alone is a reason to slow down and check the details yourself before committing to anything. So what should you actually do if you get a call that feels off? First, you're allowed to simply hang up. You don't owe an unexpected caller your time, your patience, or an explanation. If the call claims to be urgent and important, it will still be urgent and important after you've had a chance to verify it independently. Don't call back using a number the caller gave you, and don't click a link in a text or email that arrived around the same time. Instead, look up contact information yourself, using an official source you find independently, and reach out that way. Log into your own online Social Security account if you have one to check whether anything mentioned on the call actually appears there. If a letter arrives referencing the same issue, read it carefully rather than relying on what the caller told you it said. And if something still feels unclear or suspicious, it's worth writing down the details of the call: the date, the phone number, if it was visible, what was said, and what was requested. That record can help if you decide to report the incident to the appropriate authorities. If you've already shared information with someone you now suspect wasn't legitimate, don't panic, but do act. Contact Social Security directly using contact information you verify independently, not anything provided during the suspicious call, and explain what happened. If financial account numbers were shared, contact your bank or financial institution promptly using contact information you find independently. Explain what information may have been disclosed and ask what steps they recommend for your situation. Depending on the circumstances, they may advise you to review recent activity, change account credentials, or take other appropriate security measures. If you notice transactions or activity you do not recognize, contact the institution through its official channels and ask about the available reporting and security options. Depending on the type of personal information that was disclosed, you may also want to consider identity protection steps. This can include reviewing your financial accounts and checking your credit reports for activity you do not recognize. The appropriate response can vary depending on exactly what information was shared. Acting promptly may help you address potential problems sooner, but taking action can still be worthwhile even if some time has already passed. Start by identifying what information you disclosed, then contact the relevant organizations through independently verified contact information. It can also help to keep a simple mental checklist for unexpected calls involving Social Security. Pause before responding and take time to consider what the caller is asking you to do. You do not need to provide personal information simply because an unexpected caller requests it. Avoid sharing sensitive details, such as your Social Security number, bank account information, online account passwords, or security codes, with someone who contacted you unexpectedly unless you have independently verified the situation and understand why the information is needed. Verify important claims through official channels that you find yourself. Do not rely solely on a phone number, website address, or link provided during an unexpected call, text message, or email. Instead, independently locate official contact information and use it to check whether there is an actual issue requiring your attention. You can also review official notices you have received and check your own online account where available, rather than relying only on what a caller tells you. If you are uncertain about a situation, asking a trusted family member or another person you trust for a second opinion can be helpful. You may also choose to seek guidance from a qualified professional when making an important decision about benefits or finances. Taking time to understand a request before responding can help you make a more informed decision. This does not mean you should assume that every call mentioning Social Security is fraudulent or ignore legitimate communications. Genuine notices and communications can require attention, and managing benefits may involve reading notices, responding to legitimate requests, checking your account, and understanding the options available to you. An important part of avoiding problems is distinguishing between information that can be independently verified and claims that have not yet been confirmed. Before sharing sensitive information or making an important decision, take a moment to consider whether you have verified the situation through a source you trust and located independently. If you have not, you can pause and check the details before taking further action. An unexpected caller's request does not prevent you from independently confirming what they have told you. Making verification a regular habit can be useful in many situations. If you receive an unexpected call, you can end the conversation if you prefer. Review your official notices, check your account, independently locate the appropriate contact information, and take time to understand the issue. If there is a genuine matter requiring your attention, independent verification can help you understand what steps may be needed. If the claim cannot be verified, you can avoid providing additional information until you have clearer information from an appropriate source. You do not need to memorize every possible scam story or communication method. Tactics and circumstances can vary, but a consistent approach can still be useful. Take time before responding, protect sensitive information, independently verify important claims, read official notices carefully, and respond appropriately to genuine deadlines. By staying informed and checking important information through sources you locate yourself, you can make decisions with a clearer understanding of the situation and help protect your personal information, benefits, and financial interests.